The top stories. Former Prime Minister sends a warning to the central bank. A charge upgraded to murder. Plans announced for CityFest. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, April 24, 2015. I am Janelle Ward.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your time, your way.
Former Prime Minister Owen Arthur has warned the central bank about printing currency to ease government's cash flow problems. Arthur called it an act of, quote, economic vandalism, and said across the developing world that practice has destroyed several economies. He was speaking on Thursday night at a lecture organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados at the Hilton Barbados Resort. Police have upgraded the charge against Raheem Ricardo O'Neill Hines from serious bodily harm to murder. Mr. Hines of Pineland, St. Michael, has been remanded until May 22nd on the indictable offence. He has been charged in the death of Michael Yearwood, who died at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital after they were in an altercation on March 12th. Several employees of the Barbados Light and Power Company Limited are expected to leave the company at the end of the month, having accepted early retirement and voluntary separation packages. Others have been asked to hold on for months, ranging from 3 to 9 months, to ensure continuity of operations at the power supplier. Human Resources Manager Roger Baburam provided the update on Friday after Light and Power officials briefed the subcommittee of the Social Partnership on a plan to cut operating costs by nearly $30 million. The Barbados Workers' Union had complained that the power company broke the rules by taking the cost-cutting plan to its employees before discussing the matter with the Social Partnership. Merchants in Bridgetown have been challenged to put their own twist on CityFest to try to drum up sales. National Cultural Foundation Marketing Coordinator Margaret Allman Goddard said it should be a win-win situation, as Cave Shopper did last year with the fashion show.
We're bringing people in. People say, well, I don't normally go to town, I don't go to town. So if they're coming into town on that day, the idea is bring them into your store, get them to do stuff, to see stuff, and then there's a spillover. And the idea is that it's supposed to be a win-win. We bring a show, but you should make some extra sales on that particular day.
Meanwhile, Cultural Officer Alison Seeley-Smith also outlined some of the events planned for this year.
In Hero Square, that's where the parade ends up. So the parade starts at the Jumbo Post Office, processes its way along Broad Street, and it ends up in Hero Square. Once again, the Sons of God Apostolic Church, as they have been doing for a very long time, they will be blessing these last games. And then we get into, we celebrate the stalwarts. There's a whole ceremony that's about honoring people, honoring the King and the Queen, and honoring the fact that the sugarcane crop has been the basis of our commerce, our identity. This is the reason that Bridgetown exists. And so we make those links between sort of the present commercial realities and the reason that we're here.
CityFest will be held on June 27th. Organizers of adult crop-over bands have failed to preserve Barbados's culture. That is the view of former Minister of Information Glyne Murray.
The St. Stephen's Primary School needs to be commended for a presentation which should bring much needed and welcome relief and pleasure to the growing vocal numbers of people who simply cannot take any more of the near nudity and bitter vulgarity that is presently dominates image of adults' so-called crop-over costumes. That's because far too many adult revelers are prepared to shamelessly abandon Bajan creativity and resourcefulness by slavishly allowing band leaders to pander to the lowest common denominator and mankind's coarsest instincts for the making of big profits through the excessive use of feathers, bikinis, and beads, currently passed off as lame excuses for costumes.
Mr. Murray was speaking at the launch of the St. Stephen's Primary Kiddies Kadooment band, Bajan Treasures, on Friday. In sport, 25 players are now at senior national netball trials as Barbados continues preparation for the World Cup in Australia in August. 7 players were added to the squad since last year's international outing. The Barbados Netball Association is also raising funds for a 3-match series against Jamaica in June. And finally, when a 34-year-old farmer turned up at a hospital in India complaining of stomach pain, doctors were shocked to find out the cause. It took 2 operations, 3 days apart, to remove 140 coins, 150 nails, a handful of bolts, nuts, and batteries. Rajal Sang said he got hooked on the weird habit when he began having family problems and used to gulp down metal with fruit juice or milk. A team of 5 doctors operated on Mr. Singh for more than 9 hours, and they had to wait 3 days before his body had recovered before going for the remainder of objects. As for Mr. Singh, he has finally realized the danger of his habit and says he will never do it again. That has been the Nation News for Friday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your newspapers over the weekend or subscribe online to the e-newspaper. Thank you for joining us.